afternoon and welcome to What Am I Doing Wrong? I am your host, Jameelah B. And I just want to say before we get started, please make sure you like this video, share it on your social media platforms, and subscribe to my channel. So today we have a very unique topic. It is, am I a unicorn? And you might be wondering, what do I mean by that? It is a question many singles over 30 with no kids ask. We're going to discuss our frustrations with labels and expectations society places on our lives. And I just want to thank my great panel of guests today who have joined me. I'm glad that you all are here. I'm going to start with Andrea. She is a 31-year-old owner of Resilently Meat Productions. She's a Miami native and now residing in the metro Atlanta area. Her personal and spiritual trials have caused her to take this journey to birth Resiliently Me TV on YouTube, shining a light on positivity. And you can catch her every other Saturday at 3 p.m. posting on her channel. And so you all go to her channel and like and subscribe and all that. She's my little cousin, so support her. Next, we have Mr. Walter Jackson. He is a 43-year-old retired military disabled veteran living in Stewart, Alabama. And thank you, Walter, for your service. And you're going to be the male voice on the show today, so thank you. Next, we have Miss Marcia Lillie. She is 39 years old. She's a security specialist for the Army Corps of Engineers. She's originally from Davenport, Iowa, and right now she's over there in Germany, getting ready to head back to the States. And she is divorced with no children. She enjoys going to the museum, reading books, and traveling. And she is a Navy veteran. And also, thank you, Marcia, for your service. So last but certainly not least is Neosho Ponder. She is a 41-year-old Kansas City, Missouri native who resides in Washington, D.C. She is an adjunct professor at Trinity Washington University. She has a doctorate in communication, culture, and media. Neosho also earned a Master of Arts in Mass Communications and Media Studies from Howard University and a Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies from the University of Missouri, Kansas City. She is an active member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Hey, Soror. And she is also active in other civic and public service organizations as well as her church. So, and she's also working on a memoir, God's Got Jokes. So thank you all for being here. And as you can see, this is a very diverse group of folks. And I'm ready to dive right into the topic. So are y'all ready to go? Okay, great. So, yeah, so I just want to know, I'm 40, I'll be 43 next week, actually, April 20th. I'm divorced, so I'm still single. And, I just get sick and tired of people constantly coming up to me asking me, why are you single? Why don't you have any kids? Like, what's wrong with you? Mm-hmm. So for you all who are, in over 30, tell me a little bit about what are you tired of people saying to you? What do people say to you about you being single with no kids? Anybody can jump right in. You could go ahead, Neosho.
Well, I'll go ahead and go first. So
okay, go ahead, Erica.
I'm 31 years old. So like even when I'm at work, I guess some people may find me attractive and they say, oh, you're good looking, you're single, you don't have nothing holding you down. Like, why aren't you married? Like what, like my cousin said, what is wrong with you? And it makes you kind of feel, I know for me personally, it makes me feel like, dog, am I doing something wrong? What's wrong with me? Should I just go find somebody? And you don't want to rush because you're pressured to talk to somebody because you'll end up being with the wrong person. So for me, when people tell me that, it just makes me feel like, I don't know, like, I think the best way to describe it, it makes me feel kind of nasty, like something's wrong with me. But in all actuality, it is nothing wrong with me. I just haven't found that right person yet.
Excellent. Okay, Neosho.
Can you restate the question?
Pretty much, I want to know, like, how often do people question you about your relationship status and, why you don't have kids?
Well, I don't get the question as much as most people because I am a almost 5-year breast cancer survivor. So, and then I also was in school my whole life. So I don't get the question like a lot of people probably, but I know in dating, I get it a lot. Like they think literally that I'm crazy or I have something wrong with me. So, so I will say that I get it. my sister can't wait for me to have a kid. She doesn't really care about husband and stability. She just wants me to pop one out for her because her children are almost grown. And she's my younger sister. So, but other than that, for the most part, people know why.
Okay. Well, you're a lucky one because I mean I've been to school, I've been through all that. I've even been married and I'm divorced, so I still get the question constantly. And Marcia, I know you're divorced as well, so you know, like I know. Tell us, how often do people question you about your relationship status and why you don't have kids?
All the time, especially when I am dating people or especially I'm starting a new job, you know what I mean? And everybody I've worked with, I've never actually worked with people who weren't married and had children, you know what I mean? Because I've always been the youngest one there and everybody's been like way older than me. Even now, everybody's like 15, 20 years, you know what I'm saying, older than me at work right now. So I get it a lot. I got it so much from family and friends that I actually, you know, married a man that I did not love, you know what I mean? That, you know, because he wanted to marry me and everybody was just like, well, you know, you got somebody now and I'm so proud of you and blah, blah, blah. And I did it with, you know, bells going off in my head, you know what I mean? No, 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 no. You know what I mean? I still did it. So, and so I just get it. It makes me feel when they ask me that, like Erica said, nasty, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing something wrong. And especially when you see, you know, you go on the internet and you see people doing these reaction videos to, you know, couples out there who on drugs together and I'm down, you know what I'm saying? I just seen one today and I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, she can get a man and they on drugs. Like, what am I doing wrong, Jesus? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? Is it because I'm a little quirky or I don't know, you know what I mean? Or I want to accept certain things or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't go to clubs. I'm a homebody. Man, I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel you, Marcia, because I know, like, for me, you know, being 43, I live in Metro Atlanta, so we already know what the ratio of people who have heard, like, the ratio of men to women is ridiculous here in Atlanta. But I'm always like, you know, question, like people make me feel like something is wrong with me because I'm single. And I think it's just because my tolerance level is different now. And I want to get to Walter before something happens to Walter's technology again. I need the male voice. As a man, what do people say to you about your relationship status and why you don't have kids?
Am I gay? Something wrong with me? Why not? All those questions. Like, why? I mean, I don't know. I think people think something wrong with me.
And they immediately go to that, you know, that thing when it comes to men. They'll immediately assume that they're gay or something is wrong with them, and that's not, you know, that's not fair to anybody to just make assumptions about, you know, their sexual orientation. There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, they always immediately quick to say that because I mean, I have gay friends who do have children, so I mean, you know, so I mean, that's not even a, you know, that can't even be so. But so as far as I think Marcia said, as well as Erica, you know, it makes you feel nasty or like something is wrong with you. And how have you addressed that with people when people come up to you asking you that? Because I find myself a lot getting defensive when people come to me always asking me about that, because like Marcia, I got married very young. I got married at 23. So I was young when I got married, and I'll be 43 next week. So that was 20 years ago I got married. And I married my college sweetheart, and I married him because on paper we made sense. You know, we made sense on paper. We came from the same type of backgrounds. It just made sense for us to go ahead. We've been dating all through college. We have been dating all these years. So it made sense for us to follow the natural path and get married. But in all actuality, I don't feel like mentally we were ready for that, or if I loved him in a way that, you know, a marriage, you should be with someone you're marrying. So I wonder, like, am I even capable of that level of love or commitment with someone? Do you all even feel that way about it?
I struggle with that.
It's too late now.
I am. Yeah, go ahead, Walter.
It's too late now. I had too much invested in myself to you know. But I mean, where I'm at right now, I have more to lose than I have to gain.
That's true.
That's my thought.
True.
I have more to lose than I have to gain.
I don't remember. So yeah, I do think that sometimes, you know, it's I make the joke, but there's a lot of truth in it, that it's lonely at the top, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not at the top of my career. I'm not at the top of my where I want to be in terms of, like, you know, home ownership and things like that. But when it comes to my faith, you know, my level of education, and, you know, I feel like I bring a great family to the table as well, like, you know, extended family. And it's just like, I bring things, and I think that it is, it makes me think, okay, so I think I'm a great person, genuinely just a good person. I'm not a dramatic, and I think men like drama, but that's probably later in the show. But yeah, I'm not a dramatic person. You know, I've never slashed tires or done anything crazy to a guy in my entire life. And I just don't I sometimes wonder, you know, is it me, or what is it, you know, whoa, is it me? And I wasn't really looking for anything serious while I was in grad school. I think I started to pay attention, I think, when I started my doctoral program, but I was like, oh, maybe I should start trying to date seriously. But then it was kind of like, no, I kind of really want to focus, you know. And so after that, you know, I only had a year between my cancer diagnosis and my PhD. So it all ran together, which is why I don't get the questions like y'all do. But trust me, had it been more than a year, people would have been asking me like they are asking you. But I think that we have to give ourselves some grace.
Yes.
And I will be honest, my family kind of sometimes, some people make me kind of feel bad about, like, not having all these extra things on me that I have to do, because I don't have a ton of responsibility like they do. They think that they kind of be like, well, you know, you don't have no kids, or you don't have as many bills as I have. And, you know, I live like this by choice. I've never tried to have children. You know, I've never been in a relationship long enough to where it led to even an engagement. Because in my 20s, y'all, I lived it up. Okay, I did exactly what I was supposed to do in my 20s. But my entire 30s was spent working on my master's and PhD and fighting cancer. The whole decade, literally. So I just think that, you know, sometimes they don't know that kind of is like a dig a little bit, you know. Must be nice. You don't have nobody at home to worry about.
And then people make you feel guilty for the life that you have, and that's not. And they made choices to have children. They made choices to do things.
Yeah.
So it's like when people do that, they try to guilt you into the life that you have. That's the choice that you made. You had a choice. Yeah. You had a choice. And then when you talk about being a cancer survivor, that's another thing that I want to bring into play. I don't know how that played out in your life. I know for a lot of women, when they have certain medical issues, that can prevent pregnancy. That can prevent a lot of things in their lives. And people don't know that. A lot of people are insensitive to those facts. Because I know for me, I suffer with polycystic ovarian syndrome. So So it's like getting pregnant is more difficult than it would be for the average woman. You understand what I'm saying? For most women. So when people come to you and they make these comments about, well, you better hurry up and this and that. I know for men, they may not say it as much about the time clock because they put us on a biological time clock, but it's like they don't realize how insensitive those comments can be and how hurtful they can be to somebody. And you might have, your comment may have been very innocent, but that is sticking with that person. You don't know if that person got in that car thinking about that, how long that's lingering with them. So, I mean, have any of you all ever thought about when people make those comments to you, you know, like what are the after effects of that? Like how have you felt later when they said that stuff to you?
So for me, during my active duty time in the Navy in 2006, so I was told that I would never be able to have children from 2 doctors. So, and at that time frame, I didn't want to have any, you know what I mean? So it didn't affect me right then and there. I had gotten pregnant a few times, and end up losing baby. Still didn't affect me, you know what I mean? But then a friend called me up in 2010. I was moving from San Diego to back to Virginia, and she asked me to keep her baby while she went on deployment. And so he was just turned 2. And so I would be there with him, just me and him, you know what I mean? So I became his live-in nanny. And so then I got a job in Kuwait. And so it was that little boy. And I've dated men with kids, but they always, been there and been around and all that stuff. For me, having him, just me and him, it took me to a whole nother level of, oh snap. When I left to go to Kuwait, so I left like a week before her his mother, came back from deployment. So she had another friend come down for a week. I felt so discombobulated at that time frame. And I'm like, oh my God, I want kids. And I started to mourn at that point. You know what I mean? And so then fast forward to 2017, I'm engaged. I go seek a third opinion. So I see one of the top 5 fertility specialists in the world in St. Louis. And he says, well, you have 6 fibroids pressed up against your uterine wall. They were 5 of them were the size of oranges. 1 was the size of grapefruits. And you need to get them removed. And you probably have some endometriosis too. I won't know that until I get in there. And then right before he did it, I had an allergic reaction to some meds that they had given me at the VA. And so it almost destroyed my pancreas' ability to produce insulin. So I became a diabetic overnight.
Oh my God. So one thing to prevent something else led to something else. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. So then I had to wait a year and a half so they can control my A1C, my blood sugar, all that stuff. And then finally got my fibroids removed. I've had 3 surgeries since. And so the doctor now was like, endometriosis kind of can keep you, infertile, but, your best bet is in vitro, you know what I mean? And in vitro is expensive, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Well, we'll see about that. But yeah, when people say, oh, why you don't have any kids? You don't want to go all into that whole, I can't have any, you know what I mean? Because it makes you feel bad. You know what I mean? It makes me feel like I'm not a woman sometimes, you know what I mean? Even though I try not to, I have my aunt all the time saying, do you even want kids? You know what I'm saying? You can go through menopause. And she had me with that menopause thing for a good minute. Every time I had something wrong, I was like, oh my God, I might be going through menopause. If I say I'm hot, she'd be like, oh, you might be going through menopause. Lord Jesus, if you don't quit it.
And it's funny that you bring that up about not the menopause, when you said right before that about some people may not even want to have kids. And I'm looking at Miss Boss Lady's World. Her comment, she said she gets shamed for being childless and over 30, and she grew up in a large family of 10, so she never wanted to have any kids. And I'll be honest with you, I was told one time my reason for wanting to have kids was selfish, and it was because I was thinking about as I get older, who's gonna take care of me. It was never because I just wanted to be a mother. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody necessarily does not want to have children. So Walter, wanting to have kids, was that ever an issue for you? And I'm looking at Chris G's comment, and he said men have a biological clock as well. So do you have you been placed in that situation?
They do? What is that? Okay.
I've been playing that situation. Like I said, I'm an Iraq veteran. After I went to Iraq in 2005, and I suffered injuries from. I just got my retirement in 2011, so that killed a good 10 years, 12 years of my life. I think about who's going to take care of me as I get older. But it's a question I had wrote down before a date. This is my problem right here.
Okay.
Because I don't have kids or I don't have a job. Because I don't have kids or a job, that don't mean I have money or time just to give away. My time is valuable. Because I'm dating a woman, that don't mean I'm her security blanket or responsible for her any kind of way financially. How do y'all see that?
Okay, so you said that you don't. This goes to a whole nother. So okay, you say you don't have a job and you already in your 40s, so you don't have time or the finances to be wasting time on somebody that's just not going to be, it's not going to be anything. Is that what you're saying? Like it's not gonna if it's just about the finances.
That's what I'm saying.
So okay, now, and
I
I
don't
think
have time.
that's a good segue for something to move into. I think I'm looking at myself at 43. Okay, I will 42. I'm 43 next week, so I'm just claiming it already. So I'm claiming it. I'm gonna be there. So at 40, I mean, I'm looking at my age. Do you find it, Walter, you saying that women, like being that you're unemployed, you are a retired veteran, so you receive those benefits, right? That's how you sustain your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you find it difficult though? I mean, because most women want to be wined and dined. They want to be taken out. They want to be treated like a lady. So, do you find it difficult to find a woman in your age bracket that's willing to just do the bare minimum?
That's a thin line right there. The fine line is people see me, well, he don't have any kids. He got money. He can be my security blanket. I'm not nobody's security blanket. I don't mind the wine and dining part, but I'm not going to support you financially like I'm your husband when I'm just a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Tell it.
I think that has more to do with the woman that you're dating.
Right.
Because for me personally, the type of woman that I am, I don't want a man to support me. I can take care of me. If he does anything for me, it's an addition to what I already have.
Yeah.
So it all depends on what kind of woman you dating. My opinion.
And I think people look at me funny because I think the same way. I don't need you to wine and dine me because I can wine and dine myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not looking for you to buy me a Birkin bag because you got all these women out here. If he can't buy you a Birkin and you don't need them, baby, some men that make you the happiest man on this earth, but he ain't gonna buy you no damn Birkin. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that doesn't define happiness. You know what I mean? And even for me, I'm not looking for a man to take care of me because I am willing and able and don't mind working for my things. You know what I mean? That materialistic mindset for me does not matter. I don't need a Birkin. I'm already happy. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a Rolls Royce or a Bentley or none of that. I don't need you to give me any of that stuff. And I think that it's the woman that we're dealing with. And people look at me funny when I say that. You know what I mean? I don't allow men to buy me anything over $600 if you are not my husband. You know what I'm saying? That Birkin bag, honey, that's not dating bag right there, honey. That's a wife bag. You know what I mean? Like that's something you should be giving for your wife. You know what I'm saying? Anything that, $10,000 or more, baby, he can help you out a little car or something like that, but he don't need to be buying Bentley if you're not married. You know what I'm saying? That's marriage type of stuff. And that's just my opinion. You don't have to take my word for it, but that's just my opinion. And I think that what women are asking for out of a man, baby, what are you bringing to the table other than cootie cat? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Are you willing to give that man the same thing that you asking for?
Yeah, and I mean, I hear all of y'all, and I mean, my thing is just because I have this philosophy. Just because I can take care of myself and a woman can do those things, you don't have to do the bare minimum as a man. I don't need financial support either, but it is nice. It is for me. It's nice if you want to take me out. It is nice. I appreciate that. And like Nadej says, I don't want to take care of a man either. Exactly. I'm not going to be, at my age, I just don't feel like I should be doing that. It should be a partnership. It should be more of a partnership.
Mm-hmm. It should, but if someone wants to buy me a Birkin, I'm going to let them. Like, I'm not going to say no. I'm not materialistic, but
I didn't want to cut her off. And that I think to each his own. I'm not, I like nice things, but I don't think that nice things are necessarily expensive things.
Right.
I like nice looking things. Let me be clear, because I don't think all Birkins are nice looking personally.
That's true.
And I also think that we're speaking about material things, right? But I do want a man to take care of me emotionally, you know, and at times physically, you know, outside of just sex. There's more to a relationship even than just sex. And I think that I want a man that's going to pray with me. You know, I want a man that's going to make sure that I'm not letting the world bog me down, and I want to do the same to him or for him. So I think that, you know, when men, I think it's a small percentage of women who are making it difficult for the rest of us. I really think it's a small percentage of women who want things, right? Who's out here getting free meals and all these things. And it just kills me that guys ask questions like that, you know? And I just wish that it would just be about, let's get to know each other, you know, because I find that it's difficult. And this may be another part of the conversation, but for me, it's difficult to date outside of my culture, not race, culture.
And explain it a little bit, because some people get that confused. So explain it a little bit.
So, I have a lot of education. It's stupid how much education I have. I mean, all I got, you know, to show for it is all this great information in my head, to be honest. Like, I didn't earn all these degrees for money, right? Because I'm not like that. Money don't move me. Just so I'm not impressed by money.
Right.
But I find that people don't know how people who, I don't want to be offensive, but if you're not like a part of like American culture, right? Not just Black American culture, because I do believe that if you grew up in America, even though you may not be Black, you still understand certain references and things like that, right? Or how I move through the world, how I live my life. And I have all this education in media. I love media. I watch a lot of TV.
Me too.
I teach it, so I have to watch a lot of TV, for the record. And you know, and social media and everything like that, right? So I wrote my dissertation on Facebook. Like it was about Facebook. So I can't be with someone who can't watch the Golden Girls with me, or who don't understand why my car is named Betty.
You know what I'm saying?
My car is named Betty White. Just so you know. And I can't date someone who can't quote Martin with me. And I don't mean like everything I quote you. I'm saying recognize, if I say pick up the pieces, then you whip out your kazoo and you start playing. Like, and not literally, y'all, figuratively. You know, like I watch a lot of old 80s TV shows. Music wise, like don't ask me who DMX is, because you're gonna get blocked. Like that would hurt my feelings.
You will get banned for life. I forgot to open my show talking about DMX, but we can go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm just using him as an example because he's the most recent person we've lost. But I just feel like, I'm not saying you have to be, you know, a Black man from the hood, you know, but I would like to date someone. Y'all, is getting warmer in DC, so fruit flies, I gotta put some stuff out. But yeah, so that has been my most difficult challenge in dating, has been culturally we don't rock, you know. So that's, to me, we worried about all these things, and then men who are from the continent don't understand. They think, you know, I am extra and I'm mean, or not mean because I'm not mean, but like I'm being difficult because culturally we don't match. You lived here for 20 years and you're like 40 something. That means that you spent most of your formative years on the continent, which is awesome, but we won't mesh. We won't have enough in common. And I know that. Like, I literally have a whole ass PhD in culture. Like, and I hate to hit them with the comma, but I like have to do that sometimes because they want to argue with you about why you don't think that it's gonna work. And I'm just like, trust me. Like, you know, I've done this before. I've tried this. So I think that, you know, that those kinds of things are concerning to me more than anything.
I agree with you. And Connie says that she knows she has someone for you. She said he has kids and he'll watch all those things and can quote every episode, literally quote every episode. So Connie, get his stats in the comments. So yeah, I mean, I can totally relate to you on that level because I can't, you know, I'm a big TV person, I'm a media person as well. And you know, certain things are important to me. I like to have conversations about music and movies and different things like that. And if we just don't mesh on that level, it's like, okay, what do we have in common? I have a weird sense of humor. I laugh at real goofy things. So it's like, if you and I can't even laugh about the same thing, or I can't give you that eye across the room and we know what each other, what we're talking about, I got a problem. So
that part right there.
Yeah.
I have a
sorry to be on that soapbox, y'all, but I literally just had a conversation with a guy yesterday about this. And I'm just like, you're killing me.
Yeah.
I'm military. I have that dark sense of humor that I'll laugh at stuff that I'm not supposed to be laughing at. You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm not even military, and I laugh at things that I'm not supposed to be laughing at.
Like, the stuff I laugh at will get you canceled. You know what I'm saying? These days, and I'll still laugh. You know what I mean? Like, and I love to laugh. Laugh is my favorite. You know what I mean? And I make jokes about everything. I'm like Dave Chappelle. I make jokes about everybody. I don't leave nobody out. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So, and just like you said, culturally, if you can't vibe with me culture, now I don't watch much TV as y'all do because I've been cut TV out because, you know, being on deployment, being overseas, you know what I mean? I just kind of like not watch TV. I got TVs in my house. I just don't watch them, but I do keep up, you know, with the little show. I don't do that, you know, the Housewives and none of the reality shows and stuff like that. I could live in hip hop in Atlanta off 3 seasons ago or something like that. But you know what I mean? But I still watch enough TV to know predominantly, you know, what's going on. Sometimes I got to ask my friends, you know, they'll be like, girl, come on. They try to put me up on and keep me up to date on whatever. I don't care. But, you know, but still, if you can't, like the Golden Girls, baby, you can't watch old Betty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get down with me. You know what I'm saying? You can't watch the Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Netflix got all the good little shows.
Girl, the dance episode came on this morning, honey, when she shut down the dance class.
Oh yeah,
that was on this morning.
Oh, honey, that was my favorite show, honey.
I'm looking at a question in the chat. Camila Smith says, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a moment, and this kind of piggybacks off of what you were just talking about, Neosho. She said, I'm happily married. However, it has been my experience that many of my single friends over 30 are not receptive to persons of different backgrounds.
So I want to push back on that a little bit. I will say that it's not about being receptive, right? You have to understand when you have lived, I mean, for those who have never been married, okay, I'm only speaking of for those who have never been married. When you've spent your entire adult life up to 30, not married, not in a relationship, like there are certain, that's why counseling is important before you get married, you know, and then learning yourself and knowing what are your values, what are your deal breakers. Look, shout out to my brother Paul for all of this good knowledge he gave me years ago. But yeah, what are your values? You know, what are your deal breakers? What are your non-starters? What are some things you just won't tolerate? It's not a deal breaker that you've never heard of the Golden Girls, right? That's not a deal breaker. But no. I'm saying that people who don't or not familiar with it it just won't be fun banter ever. It won't be good conversation. And again, these are all cultural examples, right? But there are just some things that, you know, I like. Okay, when I was working on my PhD, one of my little friends that I would hang out with every now and then, he was Jewish. He was a white man. He was Jewish. He looked like Jon Snow, y'all. But okay, so
come through now.
And he would come over, play his guitar for me, bring me wine. I mean, it'll just take my mind away from studying, right? Away from research, away from writing. And we had a lot in common, to be honest with you. I genuinely liked him. But there were other things that outside of culture But the one thing that, I wouldn't be able to get past, neither could he, is that our religions are very different.
Yeah,
And
that's big to me.
we were dating during Lent. So he didn't understand why I gave up meat that year. He didn't know what Lent was. And I had to reach back into my biblical Rolodex and realize that they follow David, right? Jewish people. He literally wore the Star of David around his neck. So I had to explain to him what Lent is, because Jewish people don't follow Christ. Jewish people are Old Testament, not New Testament, right? So things like that, honestly, that would be something that I wouldn't be able to, like, I don't know if I could marry someone who's Jewish because of my faith, right?
Yeah,
but at the same time, he was a white man who was Jewish, and he didn't. I mean, culturally, we both grew up in America. He's from Florida, so like we loved Stevie Nicks and we loved Led Zeppelin together, and and of course we love Queen, that's my favorite band. So things like that, I think that you don't have to watch The Fresh Prince with me if we have the other things in common, but at least you would watch it, at least, because you know what he is.
Right.
So that's my concern.
Yeah.
Walter, what were you gonna say?
Okay, I hear what she's saying, but I dated a woman once. I don't really speak finances when I'm dating people. And the woman told me she made $100,000 a year. And I told her that's good for her. That don't impress me. Money don't impress me.
Right.
Because she was the type of woman that she wanted to buy her man. She wanted me to respect her money and not her. Like
she was crazy.
Exactly. I'm like, I mean, for real though. Okay, I'm making over $100,000 a year in all, but I don't discuss finances. But my thing with women is, women, some of them educated, they want a man that's gonna look up to them because of their finances. And then what I see about women always got these things about, man, I want my man hands got to be manicured, he got to get his nails done, he got to get his feet done, he got to be clean. You want the knight in shining armor. But wait.
What were you, Erica? What were you gonna say, Erica?
I mean, what women are you dating? I'm just saying, because for me, it's not a big deal if a man don't get his nails done or his feet done, as long as they look clean. Like, I'm for that.
You never get to say though.
Yeah,
you want the knight in shining armor, but you want a man gonna fix the sink.
Yeah.
Put a motor in the car.
I want that more than anything, y'all. Y'all understand.
I want you to wash my car.
Yeah.
Right.
Girl, I was at the car wash this morning. Yes.
Honey, my ex
I want to go back to something Neosho brought up about religious differences. So, Erica, I want to ask you, because I know you're very deep in your faith and stuff like that. So how do you feel about dating and being that you're a devout Christian? How do you feel about that?
It's a struggle, because I made a decision a while ago that, I'm not having sex until I get married. And that is like a brick wall in a lot of relationships. Because some guys, they don't understand. They're like, oh, what's wrong with you? You got something? No, I don't have nothing. It's just because I have done it before outside of marriage, and it didn't bear any fruit for me. Like, I felt depleted. So I said, I'm going to save myself for the right man who will appreciate me, and that won't be the only thing that he wants from me. So now when I date men, it's kind of like they in a sense, some of them try to put you in a position to compromise you because that's what they want. Because men are very visual beings. And I have to cut off a lot of situations or relationships when I see that's a main focus for them. Get to know me, like hang out with me. There's so much more to do outside of sex. So
it is.
God, it's so hard. That's why I'm single, to be honest.
Can I say something about that? How old are you? Are you 31?
Yeah, I'm 31.
No kids?
No kids.
Okay. What you saying that, I can honor that. What I can honor when a woman get 35, 36 with 3 children and start saying that.
Well,
I'm just
have nothing to do with it.
I'm just being for real.
Okay, so you're saying someone who has had sex before, you feel like they cannot make a vow to God to not have sex again until marriage, and you're saying you can't deal with that because they done popped out a couple of kids?
All I'm saying is, once you get a certain age, we talking about you all of you products now. So by a woman, what she said, she's not had no kids, not been married, I can respect that a little
Walter,
bit
you
more.
got the chat on fire with that comment. Because at the
I'm
end
being
of
for
the
real.
day, okay, the thing is, Walter,
I'm being for real.
Walter, what if a woman, okay, you can't
I'm just being for real. I'm being honest, you know.
I'm just gonna pray for Walter.
Oh,
I'm
I
just being honest.
am. Oh, Lord. Ooh.
I'm being honest though.
no,
I mean, yeah, there's definitely honest. I mean, I think it's great to be honest, but you know, if first of all, if a woman is telling you that, Walter, y'all not equally yoked anyway. Let's start there.
True.
So what gets me are the men who swear they equally yoked with someone who's willing to wait. I'm not willing to wait. I bought the book, but I ain't read it. But I don't like the fake Christian men, right? The men who say they willing to wait and do everything, and then you 6 months to a year in, and instead of proposing, they trying to get some in the middle of the night, or they trying to come over and do booty calls. And I'm like, what? That's not how this works, sir. Like, can we revisit, the initial conversation? So that is something that, I know that could be a struggle for someone who is, who's made the vow to wait. I will say that I believe that if you made that vow to God, He gonna take care of you.
Exactly.
You all right? You 31, girl.
Yeah. I'm
not giving out
that because I didn't want to do it, that I was going to turn men off. And I said to him, like I was going to run men away. I said, if I run a man away, that's not the man for me.
Absolutely not.
That's it.
Absolutely correct. That's true. That's it. That is it.
Now, I haven't had sex in almost coming up on 4 years. You know what I mean? And that wasn't on, that was by accident and on purpose all at the same time.
Now, mercy, Lord have mercy.
That was on accident and on purpose at the same time. I didn't mean it, but I meant it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I'm not just gonna be out here and giving nobody no cootie cat. First of all, I never did that anyway. I ain't had no hot girl summer, you know what I mean? I ain't never been that. My friends had to tell me that because I thought I had me a little hot girl summer going on. People like, no, you didn't. So I'm like, okay, so but I'm not just giving people cootie cat, you know what I'm saying, just to be given to them, baby. We'll have to date for a few months for you get some of this cootie cat. Now I ain't gonna wait until married because I gotta sample, because what if they good if we get married? And you know what I mean? That's a whole nother story. But but Walter,
let me say this now.
Walter, that's really bad to think. I mean, to each his own, and if that's how you feel, more power to you. But at the same time, you can't just completely. If a woman decides to evolve and want to change and want to move differently in other relationships, that should be honored and respected. I mean, granted, she might have children already, so it's obvious she's already had sex. But at the same time, she might say, you know what, doing all that, it didn't get me where I wanted to go. So I'm changing a few things.
And she was married when she had the kids and got divorced and want to wait till she had to get married again.
Right. If you evolve, but don't be wishy-washy with what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. Men pay attention to women actions. Don't date me differently from who you dated before me. Don't change.
No, yes, you can, honey. You can evolve from the last person. I evolved from my husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't, come on now. You know what I mean?
And I mean, you learn and you grow. And I think that as we get older, of course, we're more settled in our ways as we get, older and we're moving on.
And that was the last thing I left out, Jameelah. Thank you for saying that. In response to the sister's comment about people over 30. That was the last thing I left out.
Oh, about being more settled in your ways. Yeah, I mean, I know for me now as somebody that's 43. I mean, my mindset is different than it was when I was, in my 30s or in my 20s. It was very different. So, things were very different.
Oh, so Walter, you say that don't change up. You saying don't change up from your last relationship? Well, baby, I treated my
what I was saying,
like crap.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I treated the boyfriend like dookie. So you want me to treat you the same way? You don't want me to switch up?
No. Let me say it like this right here. A lot of men pay attention to women before they even approach them. Try to see what level they're on. What I'm saying is, don't change up because it's me. That's what I'm saying. If this how you is, stay that way. Don't change up because it's me.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Right. I don't understand that.
Come on, Connie. Connie over there preaching. Mm-hmm.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So, and that's what I'm saying, Walter. You can't say that just because somebody is a certain, like they have.
I said, don't change up. Don't be a Christian on Sunday and go to the club on Saturday. Don't change up. That's all I'm saying.
But that's not right. But you were responding to Erica taking a vow not to have sex before marriage. So we keep reverting back to that. So if you're saying that you don't want to be with a woman who, it's not about her being 35 and having 3 kids, it's more so that she just was having sex and now all of a sudden she get with you when she stopped having sex. Is that
Tony,
what
you're agreeing with Walter?
I said don't change up without me. Don't change up.
I mean, you want a woman that's stagnant, who never grows and never progresses.
I didn't say that.
I don't want a man who's thinking the same way he did 5-10 years ago.
Well, I'm saying that
50 or 40 years old,
Yeah.
We all go through things, and I liked what Jada said on her Red Table Talk show. You know what I'm saying? We look at men when we're dating them like we put men up on a pedestal with Jesus. You know what I mean? And so 10 years from now, you're saying, "Oh, you're not the man that I married. You're not this and like that." Everybody grows, so it is your responsibility to both of you. You know what I'm saying? To love the person that is changing. You know what I mean? You can't expect a person to stay the same for 10 years because things in life makes you death in the family, birth of children, you know what I'm saying? Getting married, getting more education. It changes your perspective on the world. And so we're going to grow and grow and grow and grow and evolve. And so you can't sit up here and say, well, you're not the woman or you're not the man that I married, because of course not. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna change physically. We done had babies, you know what I'm saying? We cut our hair, all this stuff. We're not the same person, and you can't expect that person to be the same person. We have to love the person, and we have to actually grow in love with the person that we are with every day. You know what I'm saying? Every year, because we're constantly changing. You know what I mean? We're constantly evolving, and no, don't put no man or woman on this high pedestal, and you have these dating goggles on and all this stuff, because when it comes off, you know what I mean? And then address the things that you find wrong. Don't hold it back. And those little things grow into big things. You know what I'm saying? You guys address those things. Communication is key. And another thing is quit looking at other people's relationship and saying relationship goals. You know what I'm saying? I'm so sick of that. You know what I mean? Because how the hell you know that person didn't just, get beat up before they took that picture? You know what I'm saying? Or right after they took that picture. Instagram.
I better watch that Tina documentary on HBO.
And Walter, somebody Elijah said, you have to screen better. Don't get fooled by a big booty and a smile. So Walter, you got to start screening a little better. Yeah,
don't be talking about big booty and a smile like something wrong with that.
Let me say it right here.
But that's true. It's like you can't look at couples on the surface and be like, oh, they got it going on. That's couple goals and this and that. And they could be fighting all the way to the place. They could be, it could be a very
Exactly, because they put out what they want you to see. Right. You know what I mean? Not knowing what's going on behind the scenes, baby. Don't look at, because you're not there. You know what I'm saying? You're not in their relationship. You're on the outside looking in. You don't know. They could have just been fighting and turning it up in the limo before they took the picture, or right after. You know what I'm saying? Don't say relationship goals, baby. You know what I'm saying? You pray to the Lord or who you want in a man and do it for yourself. You know what I mean?
And every time people say, look at Beyonce and Jay-Z and say relationship goals, my response is lemonade and 444.
Right.
Let me tell you a scenario right here.
Relationship goals.
Whole album.
Gucci Mane and whatever his wife and Keisha K. Or, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no struggle love like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on. And just because they supposed to be together, you know what I mean? I just don't do that. Don't look at a relationship goals. I'm looking at the materialistic side right there.
Yeah.
But to answer your question though, you hear what y'all saying? The woman I knew. This is what I'm trying to say about the woman I know. Woman called me up. It was her birthday. Say, you want to carry me out to eat? I said, yeah, of course, I carry you out to eat. Where you want to go? Yo, she gonna say she want to go out and get some crab legs. I'm just listening. Now you gonna ask me to can you get crab legs, and you think I can afford crab legs, and that's out of your character all the way. So I declined it. Don't do me like this. Did you ask every man to carry you to get some crab legs?
Walter, you can't get crab
legs. Walter. Okay, if a woman is asking you to take her out, if you're dating, there's an expectation. I mean, I think we're at that age where I hope crab legs isn't a deal breaker for you. Is that?
No, he's saying that she tried to flip the script.
I know.
Like, she don't even eat crab legs like that. Yeah, she's just trying to get that meal that she don't want to pay for from him.
Thank you.
I mean, but crab legs.
I'm gonna be honest with you, but women who are professional women don't roll like that. So we go to crab legs by ourselves, child. We don't need.
I'm just saying, a lot of women. Yeah, that's what they do.
And it could just be a regional thing, I don't know. It could be
okay. There is a question, Walter. What is your expectations for a date? What is your expectations?
Right. What restaurant are you trying to go to?
My expectation for a date. I'm not hurting for real. So my thing is, should a woman want to go on a date outside of what she can afford herself?
You can't answer a question with a question.
No. Well, I'm just saying. I'm asking you. I'm paying for it. But are you gonna eat somewhere that you can't afford yourself? That's what I'm saying.
No, that's real. I don't go places I can't afford by myself.
Yeah, because I don't want to sit up in a restaurant with you and then the bill comes and you can't afford it. I need to have that money because I won't be.
I need to be able to at least cover me, if not both.
Even though I'm paying, though.
Exactly.
Even though I'm paying, you're not gonna go somewhere that you are not comfortable with on your own. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's understandable. Yeah, but what are your expectations?
My expectation? Well, I just said. That's my expectation.
Oh, that's it?
Somebody said, is it Wendy's and laser tag?
I mean,
Wendy's and laser tag now. Don't get chicken nuggets and I'm straight now.
All that I'm saying.
I love those spicy nuggets from Wendy's. Yeah. I'm waiting on Chick-fil-A to do some spicy nuggets.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and give me a little 10-piece spicy nuggets.
And they put sea salt. On their fries.
And take me to go play laser tag, baby. Let's go play laser tag.
Yeah, the date doesn't have to be expensive, but at the same time, with your scenario, Walter, you asked her what she wanted, and she responded with what she wanted was crab legs.
Yeah, don't ask that.
Yeah.
But Martha, she asked me that specifically.
Well, yes. What is your expectations? Like, okay, so you're just saying
he expects her to say she want to eat what she
can afford themselves. So, even in our age, even in our 40s, that's the mentality that you have.
Because it's not about finances. That's what I was saying. At my age, I'm dating not about finances. I can do what I want to do. That's me. It's not about finance. If I want to get to know you, I want to get to know you. It don't matter whether you're eating at Wendy's or eating at the finest steakhouse in the country. I'm trying to get to know you. It's not about the expensive meal or where we going. That don't impress me. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Okay. And I do think it's very regional in terms of some of the things that Walter is saying. I do believe that. Because I can hear people in Kansas City saying that. Whereas, crab is what we do here in DC and Maryland, So it's not but you have to also, but if that's not, if that's a delicacy, right, in his part of the country, then that is something, I can't even think of anything that I probably couldn't afford. I think it's certain locations and places I would go, but not like the food itself.
Okay.
But I just, I totally get it. When you
I hear what you're saying, Walter.
Yeah.
I hear you. And I want to ask, before we close out, I just want to ask everybody, because I came up with this platform today because, I've had men tell me that I must be a unicorn because I am over a certain age. I'm in my 40s. I don't have kids. And I'm single. So back to the question, like in general, what is your expectations? I want everybody to give their expectations for dating at your age, and what are you looking forward to in the next phase of your dating life?
You want me to answer that question first?
Yes, you could go right ahead.
Go ahead, Walter.
For me right now, to tell you the truth, it's almost impossible because I'm 43 years old. I'm retired. I don't have a job I go to. I don't have any kids. But my problem is time and priority. I'm not going to find nobody on my level exactly with the time I have. So that's one of my main concerns.
That's real. Yes. That's real.
Okay. I hear you. Okay. Erica?
Say the question again. I'm sorry.
Like, what are your dating expectations and what are you looking forward to in your dating life?
Well, with dating, I want someone to be my friend first.
Mm-hmm.
So I want someone that's not trying to jump the gun right off rip. Because I did have a guy like 5 minutes after me giving him my number. He was talking about getting my nails and hair done and all this stuff. And I'm like, you don't even know me. I could be crazy.
Extra.
You want to do all this extra stuff? So I want someone to get to know me first. And then we grow from there together. That's what I want. And that's what I'm looking forward to. And I know it will come in due time. So, and someone who's willing to wait and share the same faith as me is most important as well.
Okay. Marcia, what are you looking forward to?
Like she said, somebody to be my friend. I don't like people that I'm a bit quirky, but I don't like men who come off at me talking to me like my gynecologist. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to be worried about my cootie cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need you to be asking me all these questions. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta answer like I'm in the doggone OBGYN office. You know what I mean? I'm like, God, you know what I mean? I don't like that. But then sometimes I do come across that way to men too, but let me do it. You know what I mean? But that's the whole other thing. But be my friend. Get to know me. You know what I mean? Know that jewelry I don't like jewelry. You see, I don't got none on, no earrings, no nothing. I don't wear it as much. You know what I mean? Purses, you ain't got to buy me no Birkin. You can buy me a purse from Walmart because I do it all the time. I love it. You know what I mean? You don't have to, when I get upset, you know what I mean? Take me to Barnes and Noble. That calm me right down so I can put my hands on all the books. And it calms me right down. You don't know that about me. You want to get my hair and nails done. I can get my own hair and nails done, and I do it all the time. So that's not going to impress me either. It's just the look. I don't like chocolate. I don't like flowers, and I hate shopping. You don't know that. You know what I mean? Unless you get to know me. Don't try to take me shopping because, honey, I'm not going. You know what I mean? That's first and foremost. I'm not. I'm sorry. I hate shopping. I hate everything.
My mama, I swear, did Pam, is your mama named Pam? Did she give you up for a doctor? It sounds like my mama. My mama does not wear her diamond tennis bracelet that my dad bought her because she don't wear jewelry like that.
Yeah, I don't wear jewelry. I don't like going shopping. You know what I'm saying? I don't like chocolate. I don't like flowers. I don't like things dying in my house. So, you know what I mean? You don't know that, but get to know, don't do that. I see y'all. Judging me right now.
No.
No
I
judgment,
mean,
no.
I'm not either. I like nice things. I'm a professional thrifter, actually. So, I like nice things, but I'm frugal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't get to know me, knowing that buying me a book versus buying me some diamonds. You'll get some cootie cat over that book than them diamonds is. You know what I mean? But you don't know that. You gotta know. You gotta be my friend. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that. So I think that my expectation is get to know me first, because I have very quirky. You know what I mean? And I'm very sometiming too. You know what I mean? Like I want to date. I want to be in a relationship, but 3 days out the week. You know what I mean? Like,
I get like that too.
Yeah, I'm like that too. The older I get, the more I just want to be by myself for the most part. I'm like, I could date, but I want to be by myself for the most part.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That we can be boyfriend and girlfriend 3 days out the week. You know what I mean?
Hear you on that. I do.
You know what I'm saying? We can be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Though you gotta leave me alone. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But I just, just my expectation for it is I don't think I have an expectation. We're both different people, so I don't really have an expectation. It's once I get to know you. Now, I will say my deal breaker is if you don't want to have kids, you got to get on. You know what I mean? That's my first.
You want to have kids.
You know what I mean? That's a deal breaker for me.
And that's really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really hard to, because most of the men I know, you can have kids, you know what I'm saying? Now you can't have more than 3, you know what I mean? But you can have kids, you know what I mean? And I don't mind that. But if you don't want to have kids with me, you don't want any more kids, you know what I mean? You got to, that's my first question, because I'm not going to waste no time and say it later. Yeah. But just that communication, that's my expectation of you getting to know me getting to know you. Don't try to talk sex to me or try to buy stuff, you know what I mean? Because that's not going to work. I'll date outside my race. It really don't matter to me. I'll date outside my religion only if you're not Jewish or you're not practicing Islam. You know what I mean? Like, because I believe in Christ. You know what I mean? And you'll not necessarily go to church, because I don't, you know what I mean, that much, but I do like watch my, web stuff, because I got, a church in North Virginia that I watch on their website and stuff like that. But your political opinions don't really matter to me either. You know what I mean? We don't even have to discuss politics. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when we go in that voting booth, we don't go in there together. You know what I'm saying? We go in there as individuals. You can tell me all day long that you don't like Trump and then go in there and vote for him. So we don't need to talk about it. You know what I mean? I just be my friend, get to know me, get to know my quirks. I get to know yours. And that I got a dark sense of humor, so I'm gonna laugh at inappropriate stuff. And if you don't like that, you might as well get on.
I hear you on that. I can relate. In the ocean, what are your dating expectations, going forward, and what are you looking forward to?
I expect to date people who have a relationship with God. I expect, I don't need to know all about it, but I expect you to have a relationship or have questions, and I can find answers for you. Yes. And ideally, I would like someone who has similar, values as me. Like my top 3 values are faith, family, and education. These are things that I value. They're not like requirements or anything. It's like things that I value. So, I definitely want you to have some sense, some sort of faith, and definitely know Jesus. And but a relationship with, I think that a red flag is a relationship, lack of relationship with family. For me, and having a relationship with your family, I definitely think that's important. And it's not about because I date with purpose. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just looking for a friend. I have friends, but I do want someone that I could send a funny meme to, or, talk about politics possibly, or what's going on in our society. But that's not, end all be all, but it would be nice. So I would expect, you to have some knowledge of what current events,
Right.
and like low key, why I wouldn't want to be with someone who voted for Trump. I don't care if you lied about it or not. It's just not, it just won't sit right in my spirit.
Right.
And I expect consistency.
Yes.
I have found that for some reason people are very inconsistent just because. You don't have to do anything or have any issues with them, and they just won't be consistent, or they won't do what they don't say you're gonna do it. If you're not, at least say you can't do it. If you can't, but so consistency is really important. Compassion is important. I expect that in dating as well. I don't want to be with someone or even try to get to know someone who is unmoved when I share that I've literally fought and won a battle for my life. Right. And you're like, oh, okay. I'm not saying you got to cry or nothing, but having a nonchalant, like coy demeanor, that shows me that you don't really have much compassion.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, that's really what I expect though. I definitely expect a whole person because I'm a whole person. Yeah. I do believe in people working on themselves. I believe in therapy. I believe in medication and all the things. But if you are in your 40s and you're not a whole person, I'm okay with you going back to the drawing board and working on that, and then maybe revisiting, possibly dating me later. If I'm available, of course. So yeah, I just want you to be a whole person. And I'm a very nurturing person naturally. I like to cook, and things like that. So somebody try to actually date me who would not eat my cooking. That ain't how that's not happening.
No. If you don't eat, want to eat the food.
Right. I read a meme that said, if you don't like tacos, I'm not your type.
I know that.
Nacho. Yeah, I need that on a t-shirt because I did try to date somebody who didn't like tacos. Yeah, that's like a part of my DNA. So just little things like that though, that it's just kind of like, it's one thing if you are being extra, but I need you to at least know who you are. And I would honestly like you to know whose you are for sure.
Absolutely. Right. And those are key. So thank you all. And my friend, someone in the comments wants to know I want me to answer that question, but my dating expectations, I just want somebody that's consistent, that we have the same beliefs, morals, and values. And that's pretty much and I can have fun with them. I'm at that point in my life where I have low tolerance for BS. So those are pretty much my expectations moving forward. Right. And again, I want to thank you all for being here today. It's been an insightful and an enlightening conversation. I have enjoyed it. Again, I will be here next Sunday with I have Dr. Terry Parks on it. We're going to be talking about intergenerational trauma and how that relates to dating. So he will be on next week to talk about that. And I just want to say thank you all for being here. And before you leave, everybody, do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And everybody have a great Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you, Jameelah.
Thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and share and like this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.